To give you the facts straight up, yes, the VA can use your VA healthcare records to reevaluate your rating. Yes, even if that rating is static. For some reason, people have kind of mushed the word static and protected together, and that's not the case, not even a little bit. It's a little more nuanced, and I'm going to explain the difference between protected and static here. And then we're going to get into how to actually speak to your healthcare team at the VA, because this is something that veterans need to be at a minimum cognizant of. So you just have to think about the words that come out of your mouth when you're talking to the VA in any capacity. In this case, it's your VA healthcare team. So if this topic will help you in any way, I ask that you watch this video all the way through, like, subscribe, do all the things, okay? Comment below if you were ever reevaluated for one of your disabilities. I was for mental health. I'm going to leave part 1 and part 2 for those videos down below in the pinned comments. Now back to static, all right? Static means the condition is not likely to improve over the span of your life. Static does not. Okay? Static does not mean your rating is protected. Now, having a static rating for benefit purposes is a good thing, because now the VA will not actively pursue a reevaluation, right? So in that sense, a static rating is good as far as maintaining that rating. Now, notice how I said, and I quote, the VA won't actively pursue a reevaluation, which is completely true, unless ... you give the VA a reason to pursue that static disability. That's what happened in my case, okay? One of those reasons is going to be your VA healthcare records, and another reason, so there has to be evidence that indicates the improvement, and another reason will be because you submitted a claim, right? You gave the VA a reason to go ahead and take a good peek. I promise you the VA is not out here scanning everyone's disabilities and their records. That's not happening. You need to prompt the VA for this to happen. So it doesn't matter if that claim is secondary to whatever condition we're talking about here being reevaluated. Once you submit a claim for anything, so your mental health is reevaluated, that's possible because you submitted a lower back claim or a knee claim or something completely unrelated. Once you submit that claim, yes, you're back in the game, right? Welcome back, bud. You're first up to bat, right? Seriously, this is what really drives the whole reason I'm making this video on how to speak to your VA healthcare team, because as veterans, our ability to downplay our symptoms, and that's what's really going on. It's like a second language to us, right? It is so natural for us to say, hey doc, I'm fine, yeah, don't worry about it, I'm good. And the issue with that is we're not young adults anymore, right? You're not 18, 19, or in your 20s. And more importantly, this is number one, really. More importantly, is what we say is now evidence. When it comes to you speaking to the VA, it's evidence. You know how police officers will read you your rights and they'll say anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law? It is the same thing. The same exact thing when you're speaking to your VA healthcare team during your appointments, right? So you may have the best intentions, but you need to be cognizant of what the words that are coming out of your mouth. And I'm going to give you a few examples of here of what not to say and what to say. Now, am I saying not to seek VA healthcare? Absolutely not. Right? Don't put words in my mouth. Healthcare is extremely important, and I use the VA healthcare for many things, okay? This whole bag of medication right here, everything in here came from the VA. There's even more in that drawer because it fell out of the bag, okay? Everything in there came from the VA. I use VA healthcare. Yes, healthcare is extremely important. I'm actually a big fan of VA healthcare. The DC Medical Center, A+ from me, okay? However, when it comes to our VA disability compensation, the game changes a little bit. Now, all of a sudden, if we tell doc, hallelujah, I've been healed, my back is doing great, and this and that, yes, you will most likely see a reevaluation. Now, obviously, I'm joking around a little bit, and I'm going to give you a more realistic example. And this could be something like your doctor asking you about your suicidal ideations, right? Hey, tell me about your suicidal ideations. How's that going for you? And before you respond to that, right, what's really happening is although you may have gotten better at compartmentalizing those thoughts, and although you've been doing breathing box drills to help yourself calm down when those thoughts arise and you get panic attacks, you still get those thoughts. All right. You still have this physical effect of having those thoughts as well. You might be better at hiding it, right? And so that's what's really going on. But instead, here's how you answer the question. Yeah, I've gotten better. I've gotten a lot better, yeah, that's it, right? That's what you say to the VA. And yes, you've gotten better means you've gotten better. That's an issue, right? So all of a sudden, when your 50% or 70% rating was being held by your suicidal ideations for mental health, it just got chopped off the block because now um, we've naturally downplayed our symptoms when speaking to our healthcare team, right? And our mindset is not disability compensation during our healthcare appointments. Our mindset during healthcare appointments is healthcare, right? And so it's different. The issue is the VA is going to use that against you, and that forces us to think this way, at least in my opinion. So a few months go by, same scenario, right? You told that to the doctor. A few months go by, you submit a claim for your lower back, and boom, this static rating for mental health is now being reevaluated, and you do not understand why. And well, now you know, right? There it is, bada bing, bada boom. And so now I'm going to give you an example of how you could speak to VA healthcare because we as veterans need to seek healthcare, and that becomes extremely important, especially for those who are more disabled, according to the VA, especially for those who are receiving more compensation from the VA, is how I would say it, than others, right? And it's pretty simple. Be open. Do not, under any circumstance, downplay your symptoms whatsoever. So when you're asked about, hey, veteran so and so, talk to me about your suicidal ideations. How is that going for you? You tell the truth. 100% you tell the truth, right? Hey, doc. Yeah, so I've been getting better at hiding those thoughts when they come. They come and I really don't want to think about them. They come randomly all the time when I'm sitting on the couch watching TV with my family, when I'm at the bar with my friends. What I usually try to do is bury them deep in my thoughts. And that definitely has an effect on me socially. Sometimes I kind of have a small panic attack and I do these box breathing drills. But I'm usually pretty good at letting or not letting anyone know what's going on. That is much better than saying, yeah, I've gotten better, right? You have gotten better at managing those symptoms, at hiding those symptoms, but you have not gotten better in the sense of healthcare. And when you say you've gotten better, that's what the VBA sees, right? And so, yes, the words out of your mouth carry meaning when you're speaking to your VA healthcare team. And this topic is, I hope this video gets tons of views, not for ad revenue stuff, although that's cool too. This part is so crucial, especially for those veterans within that first 5-year window. All right. We have to be open, we have to be vulnerable, and we have to stop downplaying our symptoms. So, listen to me real quick. Healthcare is critical, but your benefits are also critical. I had my mental health reevaluated for this exact reason that I just explained. That was paraphrased version. And I'm going to leave part 1 and part 2 of that down below in the pinned comments if you want to, take a little deep dive into my brain there. But there's no better way to put this. When I got reevaluated, it sucked. It was absolutely terrible. I'm freaking out. Now, luckily, I had the evidence, and you can go check that out. But evidence is either for you or it's against you. Think about that. Every time you go to the VA, that appointment is going to be used as evidence, which is either for your case or against your case. There's no in between, right? We want evidence for us as much as possible, right? In our favor, especially for disabilities that are already service connected within that first 5-year window.